Good evening and welcome to another episode of Chats with Chantla. So we are so excited to have this featured entrepreneur here. She is somebody very close to me, very special to me. This is Chelsea Ray, and she is the CEO of Secure Me Credit. So I'm sorry, Secure Me Worldwide.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about credit repair. I jumped ahead of myself. So let me reintroduce. It's Chelsea Ray, CEO and founder of Secure Me Worldwide. So Chelsea, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm so excited to learn so much more about how, credit is used, how credit can help us, how we need to monitor our credit. So there's a lot of insight that you have and a lot of information that you're going to be sharing with us tonight. So I know a lot of people have been sharing the show announcement. So you have a great audience and support system that is going to be here supporting you as well. So I just want to get this evening's episode started. And my first question for you is, Chelsea, what inspires you to do what you do?
Okay, so what inspires me is my family. When me and my family hit rock bottom, and at one point we didn't have no place to go, and just my children seeing us struggle, it was something that I knew I never wanted them to see again. I never wanted them to experience that again. So they inspired me.
Wonderful. Well, you have a great support system who is on here shouting you out. And that is your husband, Jason Ray,
Yes.
my friend, shouting us both out. So he is like, Chelsea, we know you're there. We know you're here. Thank you, Jason. And he's running. Hi, Mom. Hello, Mom.
Hey, Jason.
So thank you all for watching and tuning in and supporting our featured entrepreneur tonight, who is Chelsea Ray, and she is the CEO and founder of Secure Me Worldwide. So we're going to be talking about credit repair, how to utilize our credit, how to leverage our credit. So if you're now just joining in, thank you so much for joining in this Monday evening to learn more about our featured entrepreneur. So Chelsea, how did you get the idea or concept of your business?
Well, it was never really a business idea at first. I just been blessed to, gain clients and to build a business of it. But at first, what really influenced me was whenever I did hit rock bottom and seeing other families that look like me and none of us having a way out really, like, what are we going to do? So, then I knew that I had to be the one. Like, I felt like I had to be the one to bring back the information to my community so we can grow, so we can move forward.
Absolutely. So you had to be a pioneer in some way to
Yes.
get things, started and seen. And I understand that and appreciate it. So why, you kind of touched base on why there's so much passion behind it, but why is the industry of credit repair and knowing about your credit such a passion for you?
Because a lot of people, like I said, they're in survival mode. Like 9 times out of 10, 7 days a week, we're in survival mode. We're trying to survive, feed our kids, keep shelter. So a lot of people don't know that they can leverage credit to do those things, that it don't have to be such a stress. So financial freedom, I feel like it's so important for us all to have it. So just stressing that.
Absolutely. Financial freedom is so important. And so many of us, especially Black and Brown people, not just to say that our counterparts aren't experiencing things too, but a lot of things that we weren't aware of or weren't taught. And it has a lot to do with just the household and what you know about it. So, you say that it does really hit home because a lot of us don't realize anything or the power of our credit till it's time to purchase something or it's time for you really find out when you get that denial letter saying that you didn't get the credit card or you didn't get the car or whatever. You get all these things and you're like, I didn't even know that was there. I didn't know that it stayed on there. So there's a lot of information that we don't know and we weren't taught. So I'm glad that you do what you do. So if you're just now joining in to tonight's episode of Chats with Chantla, I have the amazing featured entrepreneur, Chelsea Ray. She is the CEO and founder of Secure Me Worldwide, which is a credit repair company. And she's going to talk to you about how to leverage and do better with the credit that you have and how to enhance and improve the credit that you are working towards. So other than credit repair, Chelsea, what other services do you provide?
Well, I'm a financial literacy consultant, so I literally will help in all aspects of the industry. So whether that's credit repair or just credit building, or even helping somebody get funding, it's I do it all.
Wonderful. So, thank you so much, Becky, for tuning in. Miss Rittenauer, to some of you who went to Uniontown High School,
Yes.
and she is a great childhood friend of mine. And congratulations on Sloan. That is her granddaughter.
Oh,
And she said,
congratulations.
yes, absolutely. She had a great topic to share with people. So many people know little about credit, and I will raise
Yes.
my hand and definitely say I was one, and I'm still learning. So it is topic that we do need to talk more about and understand. Have when you have knowledge, you have power. So, knowing that what you do and you work in the financial literacy and you're doing things in regards to teaching people about their credit is so needed. Because if you have
Yes.
good credit, you don't even need money. You don't need money.
I seen a meme today. It said 800 credit score is better than it will give you more than $100,000.
I believe that. I absolutely believe that. So thank you so much for tuning in, Tanya. You are so amazing. She is a constant and consistent viewer of Chats with Chantla on Mondays at 7. And Becky, we adore you and you're welcome. We know what it feels like to have newborn babies in the house. So good. I'm glad that you're in heaven and you're in your joy. So also, Chelsea, a lot of people, they hear the word credit and they know that you need it. But what really is credit?
So credit is our ability to obtain goods or services before making the full purchase. Okay, but credit is basically using somebody else's money, and being able to having access to more money that we wouldn't have access normally. So if we have good credit, we're more likely to have access, and lenders are more likely to lend to us.
Absolutely. But you said something yesterday.
Oh, I was talking about your credit report. Our credit report is our adult report card. Like when we were young, yes, when we were younger, we never wanted to bring home D's and F's. We probably wouldn't even want to bring home C's to our parents. But that same standard applies when it comes to credit. We should treat it like that report card. We should want A's and B's.
Absolutely. I love that. And so what Chelsea just said is your credit score and your credit report, I should say. Let me say that backwards. I'm sorry. Let me review. Take because I said that backwards. Is your credit report is your adult credit
report card.
So I think that's amazing because, like she said, you wouldn't want to bring C's and D's home. So why would you want your adult report card to be very low if you can control it? And so we all make mistakes when we're young, but Chelsea's giving us some great information on how to get to the honor roll, how to get on the honor roll, and get high honors and highest honors if possible. So I think that's amazing. And I love that analogy. So we have your mom who says she is so proud of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of her as well. And she's sharing such vital information with us tonight. So I'm really excited about this conversation. And Chelsea, how can we, if we wanted to know, how can we improve our credit?
Well, when it comes to improving credit, we have to first understand credit, right? So we need to know that there are 3 credit bureaus, and that's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And we have 3 scores with them 3 credit bureaus. Now, every score is not the same because everything isn't reporting across the board to all 3. You may have a credit card that only reports to TransUnion and Equifax. And so those are the only ones that are going to have a score for that credit card. So first, we have to understand credit. So payment history is the first thing. A lot of people don't know that payment history is 35% of our credit score. So we got to make sure we make our payments on time. Credit usage is 30% of our credit score. So we want to keep our credit usage low. Now, a lot of people tell you to keep your credit usage no more than 30%. I say 10% because you want to keep it low. You want to keep it safe. Definitely if it's going to help your score increase, right there, those 2 things alone is 65% of your credit score.
Absolutely.
Then the other 35% is your derogatory marks. Those are your collections. If you have collections, we want to get those removed. If you don't have them, we don't want to get them. Next, our credit history. A lot of people don't know that they can buy age. you want to have like at least 5 years credit history. And a lot of people start like just starting out or may want to start building their credit. Ways that you can buy credit history is by buying AU, and it's a trade line. Somebody adding you on their credit card as an authorized user, you then get their age. So say, I needed some age, and you had a credit card since you was 18, and you added me onto your credit card. I got all of your age from over the years. If you just kept that credit card in good standing, that age rolls over to me now that you added me onto your card.
Absolutely. And that makes me think of how some of my friends were able to get homes very young. They were like 23 before they were 25. And now I understand when they were like, oh, my mom or my dad put me on their credit card. But if they have 30 years or 40 years of great, good, payment history and outstanding, credit history of payments, that is how it helps them. Because like you just said, it helps them. So when it comes time to make that large purchase, whether it be a car or a home, they're able to do that. So that is something I've never heard of. And if I had the knowledge when I was younger, I would have done better with my credit and definitely helped my children along the way. By the time they were 18, they would have a better credit history, a better payment history, showing all these different things. And you only can do better when you know better. And so,
and I feel like a lot of us coming from, the community that we come from, we didn't really learn that in school. And a lot of our parents and then us, and if we don't learn it, then our children, a lot of us, we start out with bad credit. We start out making bad habits when it comes to credit. But I want to take the other 35% is your total accounts. You want to make sure that you're adding positive accounts. You can have positive accounts like self-lender, rent reporters, rental karma. Those are just some. So you can start improving your score that way. And also hard inquiries. Hard inquiries, you want to keep them no more than 3. So actually, if you have more than 3, because I'm so thankful that you even brought me on your platform. I love it here. So anybody who is looking to remove inquiries, you can actually DM me on Instagram at Chelsea Ray, and I will give you my heart inquiry removal script and how you can go ahead and call and get your heart inquiries removed.
That is so great. I'm going to give you that information. That's her name. You see it right there on the screen. And so that's how you can connect with her on Instagram, but I'll be typing that up as well. But I want to keep this amazing conversation flowing. And if you have a question for our featured entrepreneur, CEO, and founder of Secure Me Worldwide, Chelsea Ray, make sure you put in the comments and I'll ask on your behalf. But Chelsea, why do we have more than one credit score?
Because like I was saying, whenever the bureaus, like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I gave you the credit card example where if you have a credit card and it only reports to TransUnion and Equifax and not Experian, then Experian's not going to have anything to, they're not going to have anything for that. So you're not going to get any points for them to credit cards for Experian. So you're going to have these over here with a score and Experian not. So basically, because things just don't report all the way across the board, it's going to report to different things. It all depends on what line of credit you have and who is reporting to what bureau.
Okay. And what can you, I know you said it a little bit earlier, but can you tell us the 3 credit bureaus again?
Yes, they're TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian.
Okay, you cut out a little bit. Say it again.
Okay. TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian.
Okay. And I've seen all 3. I've seen all 3. And they're very, very important. So you just want to make sure you're, aware of your credit report, which is your adult report card. I love that. I'm coining that, as Chelsea's saying. And I think that is so amazing because when you look at it, you don't want to bring home a negative report card. You don't want to have bring home bad marks. You definitely aren't going to be celebrated, if you have bad marks as well. And Chelsea, if it was, in your opinion, how often should we be reviewing our credit scores?
So how often do you check your bank account?
Daily.
So same way when it comes to our credit, we should be checking our credit daily. Things are changing on our credit daily. So we need to be on it because not everything that's happening should be happening. So it's better that you catch it right then and there than, checking it monthly. You might have missed, they added a million things on there.
Absolutely. Or some of us really don't know, like applying like for those different things are hard inquiries. And
Yes.
so we're just thinking that it's not really that big of a deal because we took the advice of a non-professional and they said,
Yes.
oh, that's not a big deal. And so just apply for it. And you applied for all these different retail stores. And next thing you know, you're like, oh my gosh, how did my credit score drop 10, 20, 30 points in 2 weeks?
Yes.
And then you find out actually because of that. And again, if you're just now joining in to Chats with Chantla, this is our featured entrepreneur, Chelsea Ray, who is the founder and CEO of Secure Me Worldwide. And she has coined something which I think is really great, and it's on the screen. Your credit report is your adult report card. If you don't take anything else away from this conversation, if you remember that, you remember the importance of why you wanted a good report card. It meant that you're being celebrated, you're acknowledged, you're on the honor roll, you're on high honors, you're on highest honors, you are getting all these accolades for your achievement. And so you want to do the same as an adult, and your credit report is exactly that. I'm not going to be showing off a bad report card. So
Yes.
now that seeing that, I wasn't showing it off, but I wasn't on the honor roll. I
Yeah.
definitely was on the honor roll for a lot, most of my young adult life.
Yeah. We're not gonna
And
be running to the bank with a 400.
yes, exactly. And so it just really it sticks with me in the importance of why, your credit report is so important when you look at it that way. So thank you again for just sharing that small analogy. So if you have any questions for our featured entrepreneur, make sure you put in the comment section and I'll be able to ask on your behalf. So Chelsea, another thing is, does it cost to pull your credit report?
Now it can, but there is where you can get it for free. You can get it for free at myannualcreditreport.com or Credit Karma. But if you're trying to actually improve your score and actively monitor your credit, I personally use Identity IQ. It upgrades you monthly and it has everything side by side, so you're going to see if something's inaccurate or if someone's reporting, the wrong open date or anything like that. So I really advise Identity IQ. I use that myself. But if you were just looking to go ahead and pull your credit report right now, you want to see what's on there, you can go to myannualcreditreport.com. And actually, since COVID happened, they have been giving people their credit report weekly. So you can actually pull it weekly. Before it was only yearly, but now you can actually go on there and pull it every week.
Oh, okay. So I do have Identity IQ.
Yes.
So shout out to my husband for doing that.
Yes.
That was he's keeping me covered. So I really appreciate that. So, and I do get alerts via email that lets me know if there's something has changed. So I do like that about the feature. It keeps you aware of what's being placed on your credit report if there's any changes. So I do really like that feature as well. So thank you for sharing your recommendations. And another thing is, it was a myth, I guess, the number of how high your credit score could go. So I didn't know. I was incorrect. So I'm glad that I didn't tell anybody. But how high can your credit score go?
So a credit score ranges from 300 being the lowest and 850 being the highest. So your credit score can go all the way up to 850, go all the way down to a 300. So that's how high it can go. But like I was saying before, sometimes a lot of people focus on a score. They always want to have a high score, but a high score doesn't always mean approvals. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, if you focus on just structuring your credit right, like I said, payment history, making sure we make our payments on time, our credit usage, keeping our credit usage low, derogatory marks, making sure we don't have none of those. Hard inquiries, total account, your credit age. If you could focus on that, you're guaranteed a high score. But you want to make sure that your credit profile is built out strong. Definitely if you're going to get any type of funding or lines of credit, if you're wanting any lines of credit, you want to make sure that you build out your credit profile.
Okay, I agree with that. I just recently purchasing a home. That's when I realized.
Yes, congratulations again.
All the things that are on your credit, and then how lenders look at everything, like all of it all the time. And it really taught me the importance of being on top of it. It really taught me about spending, how I was spending, because all these different things were being monitored and looked at like under a microscope. And it also revealed things that I thought were fully paid. That weren't. And I was really shocked because I wasn't getting any notification. So another thing, besides just what Chelsea is sharing with us tonight, is make sure your addresses are up to date, because
Yes.
we're sending it to the wrong address that I no longer live there. And so I take responsibility. I didn't notify them, but I didn't even know that I had this debt. And so thank goodness it wasn't this huge debt, but it was, I was able to get it resolved and paid for. But make sure your addresses are up to date to make sure that other
Yes.
things
You want to make
definitely.
sure that your addresses are up to date, that there's no, old addresses reporting. You want to make sure that you don't have any wrong, like spellings of your name reporting. You want to make sure that your personal information is all reporting one way. So you want the current address, you want your, the way that your name's spelled, and if you want to place your employment, you want one employer on there. This all shows stability whenever lenders go through your credit. They don't want to see you didn't have 30 addresses. I mean, it might have been out of like expand the time, but it just doesn't look stable. So you want to make sure you have one address reporting, which you can
Wonderful.
call and do that.
Absolutely. So we have Shamina said that Chelsea helped me in 6 months to accomplish my goals. She has helped me to get to know why my credit is so important to stay on top of my credit. She helped remove some derogatory marks on my credit. So there is a testimonial
Yes.
of our
Yes.
work survey. Those,
Yes.
we definitely, and the thing about it is you need to go to a professional to be able to get these things done, because we don't really have the knowledge ourselves, or we don't even know how to negotiate with collectors.
Yes.
Or something that's in collection that you could get maybe a lower payoff if you
Hmm.
ask. But if you don't know how to ask, they're definitely not going to tell you. You may be
Yeah.
able to get like 25% off, or sometimes half. Like, who knows
Yeah.
what could be in store, but you want to definitely ask.
I actually I never really prefer people pay their collections. Just because you pay a collection doesn't mean it's going to be removed. And 75% of Americans are credit reports are reporting inaccurate. So just the slightest thing could be off with that, like that collection account. Just the slightest thing could be off, like the open date, and it has to be removed. So you don't want to go ahead and pay it, and then next it still stays on your credit, unless you're doing like a pay for delete. Then no, then go ahead and pay it. But if you don't have that in writing, I say seek an expert and go ahead and ask them to get it removed, because there's certain laws. You have, your consumer rights. You have to, go to somebody who's educated that can actually help you get those things corrected.
Absolutely. I love that. And then
Hmm.
also, basically, you were telling us just now that should we get should we repair our credit on our own? And you told us, you kind of like responded without even me
Yes.
asking different steps on why we should do what we should do and how we should do it.
Yes.
But
I never advise, don't do it without being educated first. Like, you want to educate yourself first. And actually, I have an ebook. It's called, you can actually find it at securemyebook.com. And in that ebook, I share, the different laws, your consumer rights, the techniques that I use, the different letters that I use, different ways to start building your credit. So, yes, I advise you to first learn, your rights and the laws first, and then go ahead.
absolutely. So you want to grab your copy of the ebook titled Credit to Luxury, and that's at
Yes.
securemyebook.com. So if you want to know and you need letters and you need assistance, it's a DIY book to help you restore your credit. But it's also coming from a credible source, a professional. So you definitely want to get that ebook. And it's like, come on, like, who doesn't need help enhancing their credit? I know
Yes.
that I'll raise my hand. It's going to be something that you do for a
Mhm.
lifetime. So I think it's something that is worth us educating ourselves on and getting the knowledge to be able to leverage our credit. So that's kind of a segue into our next question: is how can we leverage our credit?
Yes. So a lot of people only think that they can use credit whenever it comes to, purchasing a home, purchasing a car, or if they're ready to apply for credit cards. And then a lot of people only, use their credit cards once they get them for gas and groceries. I hear a lot of people, you know, only use it for gas and groceries and emergencies, but you can actually leverage your credit. You can actually turn your credit into cash. So for example, these are different techniques that people are using right now. One being Turo. Turo is a car rental space. So you can use your credit card, go purchase you a vehicle, place that vehicle on Toro, right? And then you can start making an income off your vehicle daily. So that way you could go ahead and take whatever your profit is and also whatever your credit card payment, and start making payments back on your credit card while you're also making an income off of that, all off of a credit card. Or you can purchase you an apartment, furnish your apartment, and place it on Airbnb and start making an income that way, where it can cover your rent and you also have passive income that way also.
Absolutely. So I know that there is a young woman that I follow on Instagram, and she did exactly that. She used her credit and purchased not just one. Well, one, it started out as one, and it was like a treehouse cabin and somewhere outside Atlanta. And her
Yes.
Airbnb has been so successful that it pays her mortgage, it pays her car payment. It basically tripled. Like she
Mm-hmm.
tripled the amount of money that she was getting back. So she's able to pay off her credit card. And she literally just has this large amount of passive income coming in just because she
All off of leveraging credit. Yes.
And when I looked at it, and what I love about it is like she showed her Airbnb is booked like every day.
Yes.
It's unique and it's rare, probably in the area. So but it's an adult treehouse like clubhouse, and I just think it's amazing. But I never looked at credit that way. I never looked at credit in a way to leverage it.
I don't think many of us ever, and different people have been leveraging credit for years, and a lot of us are just now, getting on the train. But a lot of us, we have like a scarce mentality of, scared to use credit. But really, credit can open up doors to financial freedom. Really, credit is your basics to any type of scaling, any type of wealth or financial freedom that you're chasing.
Absolutely. And the thing also too is just because you may not have the best credit score right now, does not mean you can't get it.
Yes.
It's just like anything, it takes work. Slow progress is still progress.
Yes.
I am living evidence of slow progress is still progress, and it's able to be changed. I've had the low credit score, I've had the good, I've had the fair, and now you're like really working to have all of it in a way that you're able to get the things that you need, but also understanding how credit works, understanding that again, as Chelsea said earlier, which I love, is our credit report is our adult report card. And you want to be proud of it. You want to celebrate it. You want to celebrate the achievement. You want to be able to show it off. Not that you're showing off to individuals personally, but you want to be able to show it off to lenders. Like, I am that person you can lend to. You're able to get those things. So that's really important. But Chelsea, there's a lot of things that you do in life. And I know becoming an entrepreneur is one of them. But how has becoming an entrepreneur impacted you or other areas of your life?
Well, like a lot of people who are watching may know, I am a wife and a mother. So, having to get organized, structuring your life, because there's a time where you have to be a mom. There's a time you have to be a wife. There's a time you have to be an entrepreneur. So really, it's impacted my life, but getting me organized. Because I had to create a structure. I know, okay, if I had to be up at 6:00 in the morning and the kids get up at 7, I can do this at 6, get breakfast ready by, the time they're up. It's just brought structure.
Absolutely. And I will add to it, not only has it brought structure, it has also brought discipline. Like, you have to be really disciplined.
Yes.
And consistency.
Consistency.
Because it's not going to happen unless you're consistent, like you said, and you're getting up and you're building routine, like you said. And if the kids are getting up at 7, you ain't going to get up at the same time, be able to do the things that you need to do as an entrepreneur, not with my sugar babies in the house. Yeah. And they're wanting your attention, mom here, mom that, and then having a husband as well. And, as a wife, you have the attention of husbands that sometimes they need a lot of it. And I know your husband personally as my firstborn. Love them to death. Love them to life, I should say. But yeah, so there's a lot that goes on, and credit has so much to do. So yeah, Varndell, thank you so much for joining in. She's an amazing coworker and friend of mine, and she said rule number one: structure and discipline are super
Yes,
important, and they
super
are.
important.
They are, and they're. And the thing about what you're also doing is that you're showing your children and also your
Yes,
husband about structure and discipline, and it's, you know, being able to be an example of that, so it's like second nature for them. It's something that they can emulate as well. So
yes,
I agree, Rondell, is that, you know, rule number one: structure and discipline is so important. So yes. Oh, I want to just say thank you so much, Shamina. I know I'm saying her name wrong right now. Didn't I say it,
no,
Shamina?
Shamina.
Okay, okay, I got it right. I apologize. She said, I'm very proud of you, Chantla, for having the podcast. You're making people more aware of things you probably wouldn't be aware of. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing and being present and asking questions and putting things in the comment, celebrating Chelsea, who is our featured entrepreneur. She is the CEO and founder of Secure Me Worldwide. You definitely want to make sure, if you are just now tuning in, that you hit replay and you get it from the
Yes.
very beginning, because there are some amazing nuggets. A lot of times we're just taking so many things for granted when it comes to our credit. And some people like actually think like, I don't care. And I'm going to say, when you're younger, you may be
Yes.
thinking like, oh, it's just credit, it doesn't really matter to me. But when you get to my age and you start wanting the finer things in life, such as a home to retire in, you're going to wish that you were paying more attention in your early 20s and your younger years about
Yes.
the importance of things. So Chelsea, I want to keep this amazing conversation going. It has so much insight that you're providing to us. And again, if you're just now tuning in, you know, we have the amazing CEO and founder, Chelsea Ray of Secure Me Worldwide. If you have a question for our featured entrepreneur, make sure you put it in the comments so that we can actually ask on your behalf, because we have the opportunity while she's here and you have a question. Yes. Just ask it. Just, you know, that's the way you're going to find out. So yes, also, you know, a lot of people right now, because we're in a pandemic, COVID, I don't care how much we've been in it for over, you know, just over a year or so, we are still living in a pandemic. So how are you marketing your business? Because it's not passing out flyers. It's not, you know, having events like it could have been, you know, pre-COVID.
Yes. You know, the regular word of mouth, but mainly social media. Social media has allowed me to, you know, reach people that I would never been able to reach. And also just being able to be my authentic self. So social media, that's how I've been.
Absolutely. And so again, your social media handle is at Chelsea Ray,
At
that they
Chelsea
can
Ray.
find more about you, and you can DM her about your questions if you feel like you don't want to ask them right here on this platform on Chats with Chantla, but definitely
Feel free.
to DM her and ask her some questions. And so, hey, Rye says, hey, sis. And so
Hey,
she's
sis.
as well. Also, Varndell has another question. Thank you so much for sharing, Ryan, and also watching tonight. As Varndell said, for first-time home and property buyers, what is the standard credit score that you need, or you may think that you need?
Well, I know a lot of first-time home buyers, they want to see about I think it's a 620. So it really depends on what bank that you're trying to get, you know, your loan through. What do they require? But a
Wow.
lot of them is a starting base at like a 620.
I agree. Some people won't even allow you to get pre-approved without having at least a 600 score. So again, it does vary. And just my recent experience. So thank you so much, Varndell, for that amazing question.
Yes.
And it's also good, like Chelsea said, is to monitor your credit. You know, there's a lot of free things that you have. She recommended Identity IQ. So that's something, and it's just keeping you aware of what your credit report is and what your credit score is, and just learning, again, as she said, our credit our credit report is our adult report.
Yes.
And Varndell said, okay, and thank you again.
You're
thank
welcome.
you so much, Varndell, for watching. I appreciate you. So Chelsea, if we have a lot of first time entrepreneurs watching Chats with Chantla on a weekly basis, and we have serial entrepreneurs or seasoned entrepreneurs who have
Yes.
been watching, give us some, what would you tell us? Give us like one piece of advice that you would share with entrepreneurs to keep them going and motivated.
Yes. Well, one thing I would say is, just because somebody's doing something different doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. You want to keep focusing on you till the focus is on you. Okay. So whatever you do for long enough, 365 days out of a year, you're going to yield, fruit from that. So just keep on focus on you until the focus is on you, really.
I love that. Keep focusing on you till the focus is on you.
Yes.
If you don't get that, I love that. So you have given so many nuggets and takeaways for this evening. Your credit report is your adult report card,
Yes.
and keep focusing on you till the
The
focus is
focus is
on
on
you.
you.
I
Yes.
love that. So Tiara, thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate your support. Tiara said, thank you for the great info, Chelsea.
Oh,
I
you're
agree
welcome.
there. It is amazing and definitely great information that we all need to know. This is, as Becky said earlier, she said there's a lot of information that we don't know. And this is a great topic to share with people because we just don't know how to leverage our credit, how to use our credit, or actually what credit is. So you just being able to educate us in a very short period of time is a lot of things that we're going to be able to utilize. And I hope it like revs something up inside of you to want to know more about your credit report so that you can get the things that you really want
Hmm.
to have in life. And it's not just about purchasing, but it's also just financial freedom, as Chelsea said in the first few minutes of being on here, the platform. It's about financial freedom. Also, we definitely do want to continue to support you and help you. So I know that you said that we can reach out to you at Chelsea Ray on Instagram. Is that the
On
same?
Instagram. Yes.
Social media platforms. Where else can we find you?
You can also find me on Facebook. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not as active on Facebook as I am Instagram. So, Instagram, if you have any questions or, just wanting to learn more, you can follow me on Instagram at Chelsea Ray. But you can also add me on Facebook. That's usually where my friends and family are, but I'll still add you. And we can even talk through Messenger.
Absolutely. I love that. And Verndell, loving all the comments. And she said, agreed, and definitely want financial freedom.
Yes.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Who does not want that financial freedom? It's just a release, to be honest. It's a release to be able to go somewhere and be able to know that you can purchase things or get
Yes.
approved for certain things, especially, excuse me, when money's tight. If you have good credit, money can be tight,
Hmm.
because it may give you that little brief breathing space for you to be able to get back on your feet, or if you're transitioning in a job, some good credit will definitely help you be able to do that. Understanding credit does have to be repaid, but it can
Yes.
definitely open up a door for you to be able to have some breathing room until everybody may fall on hard times once or twice in their life, but as long as you get back up is really what's important. So Chelsea, I'm going to ask you to give some of your final thoughts to our viewers of Chats with Chantla, some encouragement, whatever it is that you feel that comes to your heart that you want to share, and then we'll come back with the conclusion of this episode of Chats with Chantla.
Okay. Okay, y'all. So basically all I would like to share is financial freedom. We a lot of us want it. I'm pretty sure just about everybody on this platform that's live right now wants financial freedom. And credit is the basics to our financial freedom. And at some point in time in life, we're all going to have to leverage credit in some way. Whether if we want to have a vehicle one day, whether we want to have a home one day, whatever it is, even a cell phone, and you might not have the money for the cell phone, you're going to have to leverage credit. So I say, get your credit right. Start building your credit out. Start leveraging your credit. Also, credit's going to open up doors that you wouldn't be able to get through any other time, but your credit score holds weight. So it's best that we have it and not need it, and need it and not have it. So go ahead and purchase the ebook. Also, you can DM me, like I said, at Chelsea Ray on Instagram, and message me for your hard inquiry script so you can go ahead and start getting those hard inquiries removed. And I just want to say thank you, Chantla, for having me on here. Um, yes, this is my beautiful mother-in-law, so thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations for stepping out. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yes.
And you did it. And it's
Yes.
I'm so encouraged by it. And it's just amazing that you're doing this. And I just hope and pray that everything continues to grow for you. Like you said, focusing on you till the focus is on you. Yes. Is amazing. I'm probably going to be placing on Facebook. I'll give you full credit for that. I just am really proud of what
I got it from somebody too, you know.
But I'm really proud of what you're doing. I'm so excited and so honored to be able to share tonight's platform with you. Not only because you're doing some amazing work and educating people on their credit report and their credit score and just what credit is, but also as my daughter-in-law, and I'll say daughter-in-law, to make sure that you're doing what is necessary so that my sugar babies definitely have an example of hope and what it is to be successful and also to have financial freedom. And they're seeing that first and foremost in their own home. And then they'll be able to emulate that and be able to do that for themselves as they continue to grow. So Chelsea, it has been an amazing time sharing the platform tonight with you on Chats with Chantla. So
thank you.
If you want to reach out and you need to get connected, make sure you reach out to Chelsea Ray, CEO and founder of Secure Me Worldwide at Chelsea Ray. That is how easy it is to find her on Facebook. DM her and get some of your questions that you may have not wanted to ask tonight on the platform. You can DM her and get those responses. And also grab your ebook titled Credit to Luxury at securemyebook.com. Chelsea, again, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Chats with Chantla. And thanks everyone for viewing and supporting. Thank you, Michelle, for joining. And also Varndell said, that is what wealthy people do. They use credits and they never use their hard-earned
Absolutely.
Varndell, thank you so much again for joining.
Thank you.
This has been another episode of Chats with Chantla. We'll see you next week.